take your mobility. They take your dignity.
Okay, before peace and blessings. It's your brother Jehoshaphat Israel, and I got a chronological list that I want to go through because the question that I posed today is why the life of America? Why does stuff happen right after another? Why is that? Is it the fact that our government want to keep us distracted from one another? Is it the fact when the public citizens, they start coming together and they start roaring like a lion for solutions and problems to be changed, and the civil course of life here in America to be changed a little different? Anytime we come together, it's always something. Always something. I've been here for a while, but I want to go through this chronological list like right now on the table right now. We're up in what is it? Not Ukraine, but Iran, and we're fighting. But before that, the Epstein files. Everybody was going all crazy over the Epstein files and the names and the stars being released of who are the people that were into pedophilia. Okay, we had that. But before that happened, it was something else. You know what I'm saying? It's always something else, but it seems like it's always a major event. And you can say, well, Jehoshaphat, you putting on your tinfoil hat on this morning time, and you just trying to say this. But now look at it now. It's been so much talk about aliens. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care, because if they had information like that, they should have told us a long time ago. But look at this chronological list before I let this brother cook. Okay, in 1995, the Oklahoma City bombing. It was domestic terrorism attack. That was our own citizens bombing the federal building back in 1995. That was an Oklahoma bombing. A lot of y'all were barely born in 2000, so you wouldn't be around for this. But your brother Israel, I lived through all of this stuff. Okay, in 1998, the U.S. Embassy bombing. Where was it? It was in Kenya and Tanzania. It killed over 200 people. Okay, back in 2001 was the September 11 terrorist attack. It was a hijacking of plane. They killed nearly 3,000 people, and the trade centers was destroyed. When I got the information on that, they said that they hijacked over 5 planes, and they was trying to take out the Pentagon. They missed. And then they was trying to take out the White House. They was trying to take out they took out the World Trade Center, and it was 2 more places that was debauched. Okay. In 2001, it was an anthrax attack. We were so scared. We were scared to go to the gas pumps. We were scared to open our mail. You know what I'm saying? We were scared. We were scared to open up door handles and stuff, because they were sitting up here just like now with the fentanyl. They want to put fentanyl in every single thing, every damn where. They want to put fentanyl in damn lettuce if you let them. Tomatoes, onions, just fentanyl all over the damn place. But it was quite similar, because it was the anthrax attack. They was putting anthrax on everything. People in this country were scared to open their mail, or they was thinking that they were going to die or something. Okay, same year. It was 2001. It was the invasion of Afghanistan. That war lasted over 30 years. When is the year that we pulled out? Invasion of Afghanistan. The U.S. launched Operations Enduring Freedom. Okay, to destroy Al-Qaeda. Okay, and the Taliban. Okay, we had that. That was 2001. Okay, then we slipped into when 2003 came up, we slipped into the Iraq war. I thought the Iraq, we were so long in that damn country. I thought the Iraq war was the same as the Afghanistan war, because they was in the same damn place fighting the same damn people. It seemed like to me. I was in school. I could be off on that. No, it says the U.S. led a coalition invading Iraq, resisting and overthrowing Saddam Hussein. Okay, in 2005 was the hurricane of Katrina. Devastating. From the information that I know about it, the mayors and the senators, they had the money to regulate whatever they was doing to the levees. They had the money, but they spent the money in other places. That's why that dam gave way and it was a whole damn flood for Katrina. It was bad. We seen the white folks out there looting. They said that they were They said that they were patriots. We seen black people out there doing the same damn thing, and they was calling us. They said we were, because black folks dispersed through the United States of America, and any city that they went into, they were given grief. And the people, they were calling them, what did they call them? They didn't call them citizens. They called them, they called them refugees. How can you be a refugee in your own country? Makes no sense. Okay, that was 2005. Okay, I remember this one right here in back in California. It was sad, family. It was sad. You couldn't find a job nowhere. Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It was bad out in the world in 2008. So if you had a job, you better had just kept your job, because you wasn't going to be able to find no damn job. If I look at the statistics and the stats of the unemployment rate, it was way up there, like 6.5 or something. We ain't never seen nothing like that here in America. So in 2008 was the Great Recession. It was the collapse of the housing bubble, causing a global financial crisis, leading to the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. So they compared the Great Recession of 2008 no different than what does it say? The Great Depression. It was the same, even though it was 2008. It was hard. You know what I'm saying? I lived through that. You know what I'm saying? It was very hard. You could not find a job nowhere. Nobody had no damn money. So, you know, crime went up. A lot of crime in the country. It was manifested, and it was stirred up, and it didn't really matter where you lived at. You know what I'm saying? In 2008, it really didn't matter. It was a financial crisis, no different than the Great Depression. Okay, that was 2008. Okay, let's slide down to 2010. And 2010 was the PD oil spill. It was the Deepwater Horizon explosion causing the large marine oil spill in history. We ain't never seen that much oil on the damn water like that. So, you know, all the gas prices went back up in 2010. Okay, in 2011 was the death of Osama bin Laden. Yes, it was. It was 2011. It was the death of Osama bin Laden. He was killed by a special force team in Pakistan, ending a whole decade of a manhunt, because he was on the FBI. He was on the FBI list for a long time as the top person. 10 years the United States was trying to kill that man. Couldn't find him. Okay, in 2013 was the Boston Marathon bombing. Once more again, it was domestic. That was a domestic attack. 2000 and 2008? No, 2000 and what was it? 2001? No, it wasn't. Which one? Okay, the anthrax, that was domestic. The 1998, that was domestic. Okay, 2001, that wasn't domestic. That was foreign. That was foreign and abroad. So let's go back down. Okay, in 2013, we had the Boston Marathon bombing. It was a bombing through the marathon that caused 3 deaths and over 260 injuries. Okay, let's jump 7 years in the future from 2013. Now it's 2020. We have the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a global pandemic that forced mass shutdowns, significantly in the economic impact, and over 1 million people died over COVID here in America. City to city, state to state. Terrifying, but a lot of us seen that. Okay, in 2021 was the Capitol riots of January 6th. A violent breach of the United States Capitol occurred during the 2020 presidential election, for the 2020 election. Now, you know, us black folk, we ain't had nothing to do with that. That was all y'all. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had nothing to do with that. We never wanted Trump to be president, but we're not going to tear our country down. Just because it's not the president that we choose, we have to live through it. We have to endure it. God teaches us not to talk bad on the king or the president. So it ain't really much that we said about it, but black folk in this country was trying to endure. Okay, we talked about, okay, in 2021, same year, was the end of the Afghanistan war. The final withdrawal of the United States troops, ending the 20-year conflict. That was 20 years that we spent our tax money for nothing. That was 20 years that we send our sons into war to die for nothing. Okay, in 2022, what was it? The president, inflation and economic shift. That's where we at right now. 2022, no major events after that. So I just want people to think, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just sitting up here putting on my tinfoil damn hat and having all these damn conspiracy theories. It's not that. But in this country, as you see, every couple years, something will happen. Something globally will happen here. Something big will happen. Either it be foreign or either it be domestic. All I know is as soon as the people come together, it's always something. Now I'm going to let our brother cook. I'm going to take him all the way back.
Gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't create. We should not be paying anything for our existence on this earth. Let that sink in. Let it scrape against everything that you've been taught. Because the most insane idea humanity ever normalized is that you owe money simply for being alive. You were born here without consent on a planet you did not create, under a sky that no government ever hung, breathing air that no corporation manufactured, and somehow you start life already in debt. That's not normal. That's not moral. That is not even sane. Explain to me how land became owned. Explain how water became a bill. Explain how shelter became rent, movement became a license, and rest became something you have to earn after selling most of your waking hours. They didn't just monetize labor, they monetized survival. And the moment survival has a price tag, freedom is gone. Because if you must comply to be allowed to live, that is not choice. That is coercion, wearing a suit and calling itself civilization. And don't insult people by calling this just how the world works. That phrase is the psychological gag they stuff in your mouth before they tighten the leash. Miss enough payments and watch how fast the mask drops. They don't just take your house. They don't just shut off your utilities. They take your mobility. They take your dignity. They cage your body, all because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee for being alive. That's not order. That is a threat backed by force. Work itself is not the enemy. Contribution is natural. Humans have always built, always grown, always created, and always shared. What is evil is when contribution stops being voluntary and becomes a condition for survival. What is evil is when fear of hunger, homelessness, and medical neglect is used as the whip. And that fear is not accidental, it's engineered. It keeps you obedient, tired, and arguing with your neighbor instead of questioning the system that's draining you dry.
We got to come together to make a change. If you can't make this change, and this time where you live, it'll never be changed.
To the earth they were born on. If a system requires you to earn the right to exist, then that system is illegitimate at its core. And if hearing this makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the sound of a lie cracking. You're not lazy for questioning this. You're not crazy for feeling it's wrong. You're dangerous because you're starting to realize the truth. You were never meant to pay for your own existence.